Okay, so trading this morning is going to possibly be very exciting. We are really near all-time highs since I think it was 2021. Anyway, a very long time ago. And this red line, which you can barely see at the top here, that is that point right there. That is the highest point that has ever been in the entire history. So it's kind of exciting. We're heading up towards that point. However, as you can see, we're not really in a very good position quite yet to get in. We're not quite at support, which could be about here, maybe even here, maybe there. Let's see, that's 47.95, which is about where this blue line is. So anyway, yeah, so this is not quite ready to get into a long position yet. And I really don't want to do a short either because it is uptrending. So we're just kind of waiting. It just seems like it is heading down here. Okay, that is a pretty big green candle there, and I decided to go ahead and get in. I had my trigger orders all set, and there's that red line I was telling you about. So I put my limit order just a couple ticks below that. And I put in a stop order because I decided that if it drops below that by very much, I didn't really want to wait it out. I figured it would probably drop all the way down to this point, which is down here. And I didn't want to wait through all that. I would get back in down here is my plan. So waiting, kind of dropped, went up and down, and then I actually got stopped out at $175, what was it? Okay, well, I haven't gotten stopped out yet. That's what happens, but I do get stopped out. It kind of hesitated there, so I was hopeful that it wouldn't drop, but then I did get stopped out. I did $225 loss, which I expected. Wasn't. You can anticipate something happening. You can kind of get ready for it, and I kind of expected it to drop a little bit further, and then I was going to get back in. So that's what we see here. It actually did not get quite all the way down to there before it really started looking like it was going up. And this is when the opening bell happened. I'm in a long again. And fortunately, it did decide to go back up again pretty quickly. You can see it went through the little hesitation part there. But then it kind of petered out for the moment. I have made back almost all my losses so far, and it's a huge green candle, and we still haven't quite gotten up to that point yet. So I'm trying to decide, do I hang on and expect it to go up, or do I go ahead and get out here and then wait for it to drop and get in another long? So I'm kind of watching the MACD at this point, trying to decide what I want to do. Because you can see the MACDs over here are turning up, so that's pretty encouraging. I'm willing to hang on through a little bit. This is encouraging as well, even though these guys are kind of turning over a little bit. It is holding up as a support. And it is very uptrending, generally speaking, so that also helps pull me through. It did seem to want to go up. And I did notice there was a Fed report, a very minor one, coming out at 10. And that's quite a ways out yet. It's like 20 minutes out, so I wasn't too worried about that at this point. But I know that will affect it. Kind of waiting and waiting. And then we had a great big boost upwards and actually broke through this resistance level here. So that was very encouraging. This is all-time highs, and now I'm actually at a profit of 112. I've made over $300 with this one trade. Remember, some of that was getting back losses. I'm still expecting it to go up to this point, just kind of holding out. I decided to go ahead and get out. I put in a stop order right here, and I thought, well, if it does drop back down to there, I will get back in again, and then I'll make even more money with that. So I went in and got out at a $75 profit for so far, which I was happy with. And the problem with doing that, of course, is that, when it drops down, I don't like to put in my orders ahead of time because it could blow on through those. I like to wait and see. But the problem with that is that you don't always get in at the best situation. So by the time it finally took my order, I tried and tried and tried. It had already gone up to this point. So unfortunately, I didn't get back in at a real good point. But I am in a long position again here. And I have put my order in right at that red line now. Maybe I think one tick below it. I'm not really sure. I think it's actually at the red line. So, if I do that, plus the 75 that I've already made, that'll be a decent profit. That's what I'm figuring. I'm just pretty sure it's going to make it up to that point. Beyond that, too much, I don't really trust it. But I'm pretty sure it's going to make it up at least to that point. And it took its sweet time, came within one tick, and then it finally took it. And then it was interesting to see what would happen next. I actually went above it just a little bit, which is not unusual. But then I got to thinking, well, all right, I bet you anything. We are now 4 minutes away from that Fed report. I bet you anything that's all it's going to take to make it drop. And I bet it's going to drop down to, this level right here. So I want to go to the live screen again and show you. Where'd it go? There we go. All right, so there it went. And sure enough, it did drop down. Didn't quite get to that point that I thought it might. And now we're back up there again at that highest point. So it did bounce off of that and drop back down. But we're still heading up. So who knows what it's going to do today. It's going to be a pretty exciting day. Anybody's guess. So anyway, I'm sitting at a 262.50 profit with 3 trades, and I'm going to go ahead and stop for the day because I've got a lot to do, Christmas coming up and all. So anyway, thanks for joining me.